Hey, what's up, people? Pizowell here, and today I want to talk to you guys about 1988's Red Heat, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie, as well as a review of this new Lionsgate 4K Blu-ray release for the film. And Red Heat is a smorgasbord of 80s action cliches. You've got the classic buddy cop story, you've got the classic fish out of water story, you've got the classic cop movie setup of the bad guy killed my partner, who's also my best friend, so I'm going to go to whatever lengths necessary to avenge my partner. However, in Red Heat, the bad guy kills Arnold Schwarzenegger's partner in the former Soviet Union, hops a flight to the US, and then kills James Belushi's character's partner. So this movie doubles down on that cop movie trope. You've got Arnold Schwarzenegger as this stolid, very, cop kind of Soviet Union police officer. James Belushi is the complete antithesis of that. He's the kind of portly, smartass, always snacking, constantly on the verge of getting fired, snarky kind of cop. You put the two together, and in the beginning, they're oil and water, but over the course of the movie, a bond develops, a respect for one another develops, a love, perhaps, for one another develops. That might be taking it a bit far, but Walter Hill, the director of Red Heat, did say that basically this whole movie boils down to it's a romance between the Arnold Schwarzenegger character and the James Belushi character. I never really looked at it like that until he mentioned it, and yeah, there's a lot of those elements in this movie. And even though Red Heat features all of those tried and true 80s action movie, cop movie kind of tropes, Red Heat really doesn't take it over the top as much as I would like for it to. Red Heat, it's wallowing in those cliches, but it's trying to be serious. It's almost as if this film is trying to deliver some sort of message. I'm not entirely sure what that message is, aside from, globally, we can put our differences aside and work together for a common good. That might be giving this movie a little too much credit. But as just an 80s action movie, Red Heat is one of those Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, kind of like Raw Deal. They kind of sound alike, don't they? Isn't it odd that they both kind of sound alike? Red Heat, Raw Deal. That kind of flies under the radar when it comes to Arnold Schwarzenegger movies of the 80s. Of course, we all think of Commando, we think of Predator, movies like that. But I've always enjoyed Raw Deal, and I've always enjoyed Red Heat also, going all the way back to the first time I saw the movie on VHS as a kid. It's a well-made film. Again, it's directed by Walter Hill. This kind of movie, Walter Hill can direct pretty much in his sleep. You've got lots of pithy, snarky dialogue in the film. You've got some nice action sequences, but again, the movie doesn't, it's right there at the cusp of taking it over the top, but then it always kind of pulls back. The acting in the film all around, I thought, was pretty good. There's a really strong cast in this film, not just Schwarzenegger and Belushi, but you've got Gina Gershon, you've got Peter O'Toole, you've got a lot of familiar faces in this movie as well. My only real qualm with the movie is the ending is really anticlimactic, and I do wish they would have pushed it a little further, over the top, made it a little cheesier, a little bit more kind of enjoyable on that level. But still, I like Red Heat. I've always liked this movie. Again, I think it's one that flies under the radar when you're talking about Schwarzenegger films of the 80s. But yeah, I've always liked this movie. I definitely recommend it. If you've not seen Red Heat, go watch Red Heat. This 4K Blu-ray release would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film if you've not already seen it. If you are a fan of Red Heat, you definitely want to look into picking up this 4K Blu-ray release from Lionsgate and adding it to your collection. As far as the presentation here, it's pretty simple. This release does come in a black case, as with many 4K Blu-ray releases, but I do dig the black cases. The artwork on the sleeve is all right. This is not a reversible sleeve. This release comes with a standard Blu-ray, a 4K Blu-ray, and of course a digital code. As far as the picture quality and sound quality on this release, this 4K Blu-ray looked absolutely fantastic. Lionsgate did a great job with the 4K transfer on this release. This is the best Red Heat has ever looked, or probably will ever look. I would give the picture quality a solid 4.5 out of 5. Same with the audio quality. I thought the audio quality on this release was also fantastic. I would give it a solid 4 or 4.5 out of 5. As far as extras are concerned, first up, we get Arnold Schwarzenegger, the man who raised Hollywood. It's 15 minutes and 36 seconds in length. It includes interviews with Arthur Allen Seidelman, Peter Hyams, Mikhail Ferry, and Edward Pressman. They discuss first meeting and or becoming aware of Arnold Schwarzenegger, his work on Hercules in New York, Conan the Barbarian, End of Days, and more. They discuss how prepared and hard-working Schwarzenegger is as an actor, how easy he is to collaborate with, his ambition both as an actor and politically, and much more. Very nice. Next up, we get political context of Red Heat. It's 9 minutes and 54 seconds in length, in which Dave Saunders, author of Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Movies, discusses the political context of the film in regards to U.S. and Soviet Union relations, the drug war under the Reagan administration, the buddy cop dynamic in the film, and more. Next up, we get East Meets West. It's 9 minutes and 38 seconds in length. It's an interview with Andrew Vanya and Mario Kazar, in which they discuss their partnership and the formation of Kuroko Pictures. They discuss the inception of Red Heat and working with Walter Hill, Jim Belushi, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. They discuss shooting inside a real prison and shooting on location in Russia's Red Square, and more. Next up, we get A Stuntman for All Seasons, a tribute to Benny Dobbins. It's 12 minutes and 24 seconds in length. It includes interviews with stuntmen Bob Heron, Max Clevin, Walter Scott, Roy Clark, Bob Hoy, Troy Brubaker, Terry Leonard, producer Andrew Vanna, and actor Ed O'Ross. They all pay tribute to the late stuntman Benny Dobbins, who passed away during the making of Red Heat, and the film is actually dedicated to his memory. Next up, we have I'm Not a Russian, but I Play One on TV. It's 5 minutes and 11 seconds in length. It's an interview with actor Ed O'Ross. Mr. Ross discusses doing research for his role in Red Heat, developing his accent for the character, and more. Next up, we get a making of. It's 18 minutes and 35 seconds in length. It's a vintage making of featurette featuring on-set interviews with Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Belushi, Ed O'Ross, and Gina Gershon. They discuss the movie's plot, their characters, the action sequences, shooting behind the red curtain, and much more. And we also get the original trailer for Red Heat. This is a very nice 4K Blu-ray release for Red Heat from the fine folks over at Lionsgate. The picture quality and the sound quality on this release are both fantastic. You've got a great lineup of archival extras on here. This is just a really solid 4K release for Red Heat. If you've not seen the film, I definitely recommend it. This 4K Blu-ray release would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you are a fan of Red Heat and you are 4K capable, this release is definitely worth the upgrade. I'll post a link to Lionsgate's website in the description. Go over and check them out. Please let me know your thoughts on Red Heat down in the comments section below. Let me know what your favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger film is down in the comments section below. Also, if you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and consider sharing it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a Month Club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons, Kevin Smythe, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Craig Farrand, Farron Sutton, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Simon Clark, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Lauren Dixon, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, Pete Toll, Kyle McGuire, Jay the Stingray, Andrew McDonald, Dave Barnes, Jonathan Lundy, Chris Gonzalez, Trenton Bowser, Jason Breitenbach, Brandon Bisdick, Steak Sauce, OG Myers, Mark Striano, Jeff Gardner, Travis Davis, The Obsoletionist, Chris Earls, Kevin Fitzpatrick, Randall Beatty, and Joseph Hinkle. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.